Yes. Welcome to Pitch Points. I hope you're fine out there, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's been a while. I hope you like our new digs, our new introduction. I want to thank Patrick and Wantali for helping us out with that introduction. Again, we're trying to improve as we go along. We're trying to get better and better and better. It was there before, and now we have phase 2. We'll work on making it better. But welcome to the show, everybody. Hope you're out there across the whole world, whether you're in America, in Europe, in Africa, in Asia. Welcome. I see our good friends who are coming on. Katuta, welcome, buddy. Hope you're well. Good evening. Where are you located, by the way? Are you in England? Are you in Europe? Are you in Africa? Are you in the Middle East? Or are you in America? East Coast, West Coast, South America, North America? Let us know where you are. Join the stream. I'm waiting for my friend Patrick to join me. He should be joining in a minute. But welcome to the show, everybody. And just want to take this moment to, again, wish all people from England condolences to the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Our condolences go out to you as a nation. Whenever somebody dies, it's always a time of loss, regardless of how we feel about their politics. A person has left, and so we wish them all the condolences. As we all know, death is 100%. Nobody escapes it, and we hope that we can share some good wishes to that family and to all English people. Hey, Katuta, welcome, buddy. I see you in Africa. Good to see you. We see Nima. Hi, guys. Nima, aka Lachelle. Lachelle, welcome. I hope I'm pronouncing it properly. Just waiting for a few of our folks to join us again today. We're going to really today talk about review really match day 1 of the UEFA Champions League. That's what I want to talk about. I'm just waiting for Patrick to join us. Once he joins us, we'll get started. But really, I was fortunate to go back and watch a lot of the match highlights, and there are many things that I picked out that were interesting to do that. So Yep. So welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to the show. Patrick says he's joining. Yes, smash the like button. Here we go. Patrick is joining us. There we go. Hey, Patrick, how are you, buddy?
How you doing? I was waiting for you and fell asleep on the chair.
You fell.
I did, because I was like, "Where is this guy?" Then I fell asleep on the chair.
No, you know what happened? I told you that I texted you. I said I was at the field. I had my 3rd game today.
Oh yeah, you told me. Yeah, then that's the last message I saw. Then I fell asleep.
Yeah, I had
the
my
sound.
third...
Earlier on, this sound was making noise. Is it making noise now?
No, I think it's fine. I think I hear it well. Is anybody here? Can you hear any sound, everyone? But it looks like it's fine.
Yeah, there was like a sort of a sound at the back. But anyway, it's fine.
Yep. Just welcome everybody to the show. We want to review again. Let's see who was on there with us. Daniel is there. Daniel says good morning. Good morning, Daniel. Where are you, man? Daniel, where are you? Are you? Where are you, man? Good morning. Where are you, buddy? Oh, maybe Patrick is waking up. Maybe that's why Daniel is saying good morning.
No, it's not good morning. I fell asleep on the chair, so it's not a good morning. It's still in the evening. It's around 9 o'clock here.
Okay, cool. Good. Very good. For those subscribe to the channel, also subscribe to Football and Chills podcast. Patrick had a show today where he talked about the documentary from City, the 7-part documentary, which is really, really insightful. I found it very, very interesting, and you learn so much from watching not just the team but also Pep, Chiki, Omar. You learn so much from all of them, Patrick. Okay, Nima's in Toronto. Daniel lives in Germany. He said because he has slept off. Okay, let's get started. So we want to review the Champions League match day one, the ones that happened last week, and I was lucky to
wait. Did you do your new intro already? Or I missed it?
Oh, you missed it, man. You missed it. Hey guys, Alda, did you like the intro? Let me know if you like the intro. We'll do it at the end, but I really enjoyed the
cool,
intro.
yeah.
I thought it was good.
As you're talking, let me just get a coffee so I can wake up or so. It's already done.
Okay, fine. Well, so what we're going to do is review the match day one of the Champions League. We'll do that in part one. And part two, we'll talk about next week's games, Champions League games in match day two. And then maybe later on the week, Patrick would do Premier League games coming up the weekend after. I still think they're going to play next weekend. I think they can't go two games not playing because the schedule is going to take a massive hit. I think they can manage to walk and chew gum at the same time. But we'll look at match day one. So the very first thing I want to talk about was, let me share my screen very quickly so we can share. We can actually go ahead and look at, let me see, very good. Right. Okay, let me know if you can see my screen. Let me see if everybody can see my screen. Yep, I think they can see my screen. If you can see my screen, just give us a thumbs up. Let us know you can see the screen. Okay. So a couple of matches I watched. I will start with the Chelsea Zagreb one. Kind of going into this game, we now learned that Thomas Tuchel was under pressure with Chelsea. We learned that now we're learning that apparently they had already agreed to sack him. Before that game, now we're learning about that. And so when you look at that game in context, you think about the fact that the guy probably knew it was going to be sacked. I think I heard he was begging for time, and here we are now after that game. They lose 1-0 and they were sacked. I think what was interesting for me in that game was the two teams set up similarly. So Chelsea set up with their 3-4-3. That Fofana, they had I can't remember who that Fofana, Koulibaly, and some other defender in the back three. The four in the midfield, the two wing backs, two midfielders, and then the front three of Aubameyang, Sterling, and somebody else. Can't remember who that last person was. And the Dinamo played with the 3-5-2. They had three in the back, five in the middle, and then two up front. And their goal was just to counter-attack them. Yeah. This is kind of where Chelsea, under Tuchel, have struggled. When a team plays in a low block, Chelsea find it hard on Tuchel to break them down. Yeah. Chelsea, like you, when you come out attack them, play a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3. When we're expansive, they can now hit you on the break through James and Chilwell or James and Cucurella. Right? But when they get against a low block, they seem to struggle. And so very quickly, in the first 5 to 10 minutes, Aubameyang goes one-on-one with the keeper, Patrick. One-on-one with the keeper. Right? Yeah. So taking the shot, he tries to square it to Sterling. And then he misses the Sterling, he misses the pass. And then around 12 minutes, Sterling tries to cross the ball to I think Aubameyang. Sterling loses the ball. They go on a counter attack, two passes, players in. He nudges off Fofana, outruns Fofana, and then it's a goal. Orsic, that same Orsic that gave Tottenham problems in the game last year in the Europa League or the Conference League, the same guy. And it's 1-0. And then all of a sudden, Dinamo are basically just shutting up shop, playing low block, and trying to counter-attack Chelsea all the way through. And Chelsea couldn't break them down. In fact, they actually had many chances to go ahead and actually score a goal, which I found was very, very interesting. Did you watch the match, Patrick? Did you hear about the match? Did you see any highlights? Patrick?
So, so I was just checking out the extended highlights. It was, I think, a big 15 minutes one. So I'm just looking at the game. For me, as we said before, Chelsea struggle, especially you say if somebody packs the bus instead of them. And that's why everybody was asking that why are they not getting a creative midfielder, somebody who's able to break down those defense, like in those games, break down a defense like that. But it looks like Thomas Tuchel's idea was always to attack with wing backs, always try to counter people. I think that was his football. Like I didn't get what his football was because there was not really a nice pattern of play which you could tell from Chelsea. Like I remember there was a time when I was speaking to Abdullah and they had a box. They boxed the team. I don't know what they boxed the whole team, and the team just sat in the box. And Chelsea would just form the box and were passing around, but there was nothing sensible coming out of it.
I saw that.
Yeah, and that's the game they lost 3-0. So I don't know. To be honest with you, Dynamo were just picking their moments, and at one moment they had an opportunity and very clinical, which was great. To be honest with you, I don't know how it's going to go against Porter. Porter is one of my favorite managers, so I wish him all the best. Maybe we'll see a bit
Yeah,
of a change in the football, but is there, because Porter's football is also based on people who can keep the ball, because he keeps
yeah,
the ball in
yeah,
Brighton.
yeah,
And as much as people say that Brighton players are low level, but he's got technical players there. He's got people
yeah,
like Lalana who are not bad. He's got people in that midfield who are able to do something with the ball. I don't know who's
yeah,
going to be able to do that. That's why I want to see what he's going to do. Are we going to see Loftus Cheek a lot? Because Loftus Cheek can actually play very good as an attacking midfielder, even though people don't think he is, but he can play that role better than most people in
yeah,
that team. Is he
mhm,
going to use Jorginho more because Jorginho can distribute a pass?
yeah,
We're going to see
yeah,
anyway. But this
yeah.
group might be difficult. Let's see what Porter does. I have a feeling that maybe it might be difficult for Porter on the big stage because he's playing against very experienced managers in most of these teams, regardless they're the strongest. AC Milan,
I
I want
think,
to see that. I want to see AC
yeah,
Milan. I want to see AC Milan,
Chelsea. Yeah.
Chelsea, to see how he
Well,
does that.
and the thing about Graham Potter, I think Chelsea is that the thing that what I've learned from Graham Potter again as a coach, and I like to learn all this kind of stuff, is the fact that his use of space is very good. So you may not have the most technical players, right? You may not have the De Bruyne's and the Thiago Alcantaras. It doesn't have those kinds of players. But what he does with his system, whether it's a 3-4-3, 3-5-2, 4-2-3-1, is that they use space very, very, very well. If you watch the game against Brighton United, the reason why Brighton won that game because Brighton used space better than United did on and off the ball. Their use of space, the combinations that they play to exploit space is magnificent. In fact, they even did it to us when we played them 2 years ago in the Premier League, the game that we lost against Brighton, when we were up a goal or two, and then they came back and we got a red card, was because they used space really well. His teams are renowned for the use of space, right? If you don't have the best players, can you manufacture the space for your players to get into and then confuse your opponent? So it's going to be very interesting to see what he does with the Chelsea team. Overall, I mean, the fact that we now know that they wanted to sack this guy before he left, that may have played a factor in this game as well because the players just seem off it. Now, this is Dynamo Key and Dynamo crying out loud. It's not like you're playing Barcelona or Real Madrid away. You should be winning this game. But anyway, SSB says, I'll be honest, I'm not sure if Boli has a plan. Potter is inheriting two players who just spend a lot of money in the window. The coach needs players to fit his system. Yeah, I don't disagree. I think that, but they both play a back three, so he should be able to get the best out of them.
I
Nima
think
says,
what Tuchel, do you know what has shown us here? When people say,
mm,
I don't care, I don't care if my team is playing bad football as long as we're winning. I think that notion has been defeated right now with Chelsea. Because
yeah,
if
yeah,
you are
yeah,
looking at Chelsea on a very, like, you're looking at them in a closer way, yes, Dynamo defeat was bad, but if you look at how they're doing in the league, it's not bad. It's not a bad start.
mm,
You get it? It's not like a bad
mm,
start. Yes,
mm, yeah,
they've got very
yeah,
embarrassing results in the league, but they're not in a bad
mm,
position. They're not far away. But that's what it shows. People say, "Oh, I don't care about good football as long as my team is winning." That's a lie. You will be winning, but you
yeah,
start complaining about the football. I have seen it in Mourinho
yeah,
teams. I have seen in Conte's teams. People complaining. Even Conte, when he was at Chelsea, people were complaining that his football is very anti-football. It's pack the bus
yeah,
and counter. So yeah,
yeah. SSB says Chelsea gives are awful to watch. They were awful to watch. That's why some of the fans weren't having him. But let's see what Potter can do. He's a
yeah.
good
Do you
manager.
wanna hear? Do you wanna hear something interesting? So before I
Yeah.
was coming here, I was watching the highlights. It's actually the Chelsea game that made me sleep.
Hopefully that will change. I mean, hopefully that will change. Hopefully that will change. I mean, they have some good players out there. The question will be how does Potter get them back to playing the way they want to play?
Yeah,
What I find fascinating was, but Tuchel called Sterling to tell him he's going to get a spot. And he yanks him off at 74 minutes in the game against Dynamo for poor performance. It's just
mm.
the next thing he's fired. It's just very strange. But let's see what happens. Let's talk about the next game here, which is the Dortmund Copenhagen. So I watched this game.
Yeah,
After it was 2-0, I just stopped watching. You know why I stopped watching?
yeah,
Because it's just a waste of time. I mean,
yeah.
Copenhagen, they're playing way above their league, man. That they shouldn't be in the Champions
Do you
League. I
think
mean,
that time because remember I was telling you I was hyping them when I saw them against Arsenal in the Europa, they give Arsenal a very difficult time. Do you think it's because that time Arsenal were at a poor level? That's why Copenhagen looked like that. Because
I mean,
when they're playing certain teams, they look difficult to beat because they're very good defensively.
I
But
mean,
they were easily set aside by a poor Dortmund side because that Dortmund side is poor. Remember we watched them against Leipzig. That was
we saw them. I mean, when they were playing, when I was watching that game, two things came to my mind. I wrote down here, nothing special. I said against City they could concede 7.
Yeah.
If they're not careful.
What sort of formation were they playing, and how do they play?
4-2-3-1. They play 4-2-3-1. Both teams play 4-2-3-1. So what they try to do is use 4 defenders, two holding, 1 number 10, 2 wingers, and a striker. But Dortmund were just much more superior on and off the ball. Dortmund could have had 5 that game without even sweating. But
a Dortmund side that looks like they don't even have direction.
Yeah, they clearly were struggling. Somebody just joined us. Adam, I hope his microphone is fixed. Adam, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, I'm all right. How are you guys? Sorry, I'm late.
Your mic sounds great, man. Your mic sounds great. Welcome. Yeah. So yeah, Copenhagen are the other team in City's group. I was planning to see if I could go to Copenhagen. I'm trying to find tickets to go to the away game. I've never been to Denmark. I'm looking for an excuse to go to Denmark, but we'll see what happens in that one if I get tickets or not. So yeah, that game, nothing to report really. And Copenhagen are a good team, but they're not on the level of Dortmund or Sevilla or City. Speaking about Sevilla, Patrick and Adam, you want to talk about that game real quick? And we have City fans who are here. You want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Adam.
I don't know what to say, but I was just mostly excited and happy that we got the win. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
It was a strange game, though, isn't it? Wasn't it? It was a very strange game. Yeah, very strange and very complicated. Because if you look at it, it's what I mean, like a strange game is, we were on the ball, right? We were passing the ball around. For a minute there, we tried our best, and I think there was a few near misses and a few occasions, by the way, if you watch the match where Foden and De Bruyne could have put Haaland through, but they didn't. But overall, it was an easy game, very comfortable for our defense. Few threats, but the defense, I think, handled it very well. I think as a unit, they were moving very well. I was impressed by Akanji with his passing. It looks like if you don't have John Stones in the team, Akanji can actually play that role as the guy who can pass the ball. I think you were right. There's a time when I was doing predicted lineup, and you said Akanji is needed down the middle, needs a back 3 because he's a good passer, very good passer. He looks like he's very strong, very good in the air because he had a few aerial battles he won. Gomez, obviously, I think this was the big Champions League game for him. A big one. We're talking about stature, obviously Sevilla, even though they're not great, they're a good team. They've won the Europa multiple times. But Gomez was a bit, I think at first he was good, but he was being tested a bit, but he settled down and he was able to handle whoever came at him. But it was a good team. For me, what I wish is, obviously, I'm just saying this, but I wish Calvin Phillips was the one who was fit and could have played this game. I think he could have played it comfortably. Why I'm saying this is I know Rodri is on fire and it's the first Champions League game, but sometimes I think even Rodri himself, when you're first choice, you know that I'm gonna come here for some of the difficult games. You know what I mean? So I just feel like there could have been a rotation earlier, but I think because he brought him in later on, and Phillips was very comfortable. And everybody was comfortable. It's a comfortable day all around, and you can tell that there's a difference now. Yeah.
You know, the funny thing is that, and Adam, this is coming to you, Adam, is that we're so used to the way this team plays and the fact that we win that. I mean, we're saying we're comfortable against Sevilla in the Champions League first round. Think about that for one moment. We win 4-0 away in Spain against Sevilla, who are European Cup winners many times over.
The stadium is hostile. The stadium is very hostile.
Stadium away in the heat and the choppy field. And it was a comfortable 4-0, not 1, not 2, not 3, 4-0 win in the Champions League. A couple of years ago, we were struggling to win there 2-1. We go away and get battered in Spain by any team. Hamburg, I remember the Hamburg getting battered. This is kind of how far we've come. And the fact that we could start Gomez, 21-year-old, as his first game in a Champions League group stage match day 1, was just incredible. You know, and I keep hearing these chatter about, oh, Gomez is not good enough. He's not this, he's not that. He's this, he's not that. Just shut up. If he's good enough, he'll play. If manager trusts him, let him play. How is he going to get better? By playing.
I was just about to say that because it's very stupid. How do you expect the player to get better if he does not get the game time? It's
Exactly.
like what you just wanted to just stick on sit his ass on the bench and do nothing, and then
You see,
you
this
still
is the reason.
complain.
You see, this is the reason why at that time I think we were having a friendly debate, and I have been against. If you notice this season, especially this season, what I have learned, Carl and Adam, by watching Man City, I am against this mentality of, oh, Phillips can play as a centre back. No, I don't want to see that,
Yeah,
Carl.
yeah.
I want to see that as last minute. Like, it has to be a thing where it's bad, like where it's bad,
Yeah.
where Walker is not there. But I don't want to see this habit where we have John Stones as right back anymore. Because whether people admit it or not, every time John Stones is played right back, it's amazing. But guess what happens? Because he's required to do extra work, isn't it? He gets injured. Watch the every game he's done. Oh, there's a knock next week in the Prem. Oh, there's a knock. Ake mustn't play again. You see, as soon as Ake played as left back, a few games. Oh, he's muscle. There's a bit of a muscle issue. We have to ice him. No, let the centre backs, right, be centre backs. Let these full backs. Even when we are desperate, I think just allow it and say, Wilson Esbrand, it's one game. You are next to Diaz, you're next to Akanji, you're next to Laporte. Like, at least this game, because if you look at some of these games, you have to. These are the games where these guys have to be battle tasted against Copenhagen, against Sevilla, Dortmund. These are they have to prepare them for the later stages. So when we have issues in the later stages, we need Gomez. We need him this season, and you can't always rely on Cancelo. We need Gomez. There will be a situation where Gomez plays right back, because Gomez used to play right back. Remember?
Adam, coming to you, Adam, let's be clear. Let's be very clear. Gomez has played 2 games away for Man City, started 2 games ago. Guess what clubs he's played against? Sevilla and FC Barcelona. Now, yes, people say it's a friendly, right? Well, Bayern Munich, how long was a friendly? Didn't he do well? If he's good enough, play him. How's he going to improve? He's going to improve by playing games. So this idea, oh, he's not good enough, don't start him against Tottenham. How will he get better if he doesn't play? We talk about our friend Ty, who comes to the show with us. His son, who is 15 years old, starts yesterday as a third centre back for DC United. 15 years old against another team. 15. Rooney starts the kid because the boy can play. And he played 45 minutes. Yes, he made one. It got a yellow card, so they took him off because they were targeting him because he's young. But now he's going to get confidence. Gomez is good. He will get better. But Adam, coming to you, Adam. Akanji, for me, that guy is magnificent. Do you see that interception that he did when he stopped the ball from going in?
That last ditch tackle. That just said to me, you know what, this guy is he's gonna cause trouble for the defenders, because he's gonna put the other defenders, like, listen, if I'm not performing, this guy could easily take my spot. So it somewhat makes the other defenders up their game, and it's a competition for as a whole for the team, because you're not always on your feet. You're all on your feet, and you know that. Listen, if I ain't performing, there's somebody there behind my back that's gonna take my position. So you're always up in your game. So it's always better for the team.
My only disappointment, Patrick, was I didn't see Alvarez come on earlier. I like to see that front three of Alvarez, Foden, and Haaland. I think Pep is keeping them for the games with Chelsea, with Liverpool, with United. I think that's where we're going to see him play, just like he used to do with Jesus, where he brings Jesus in for the big games because of the pressing. I think that's where we're going to see him. But
to be honest with you, I thought maybe Julian Alvarez would have probably played against Tottenham if the game hadn't been cancelled.
I agree with that. Okay.
Yeah, overall, I obviously shouldn't stick to the match because we're doing it, but I'm saying overall, amazing, and Adam has just hit the nail on the head. I think some of the defenders watching that, especially defenders who were on the bench, they'll be looking and saying, "Wow, there's another guy," which is great right now, because people have to forget we're in 4 competitions. I would rather have Akanji, who's 27, than have Mbete, who's 18, playing those FA Cups. I'd rather have Akanji being the one in those games with a full new back and Calvin Phillips. You have no idea if this works how I'm thinking it'll work. There will be no drop of quality in any game. Carabao Cup, FA Cup, no drop of quality.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
big up to that anyway. So are you moving on to
let's move on to the next
Milan.
game. So the Milan. So this game is interesting because I watched the highlights, and Salzburg are very good.
They are.
They're a good team. They remind me of a better quality Leeds United. I think of what Leeds did to Chelsea in that game, right? The pressing, the movement, the aggression, off the ball stuff. They are like that. And so the next game for Chelsea is Salzburg at home. That's going to be an interesting game this week. We'll talk about the previews for coming up. But Milan at top of the league, I believe in Serie A, they're doing well. They tried well. They played well. Rafael Leao is a baller, man. Let's call it spade a spade. That kid is good, man.
Do you know? See why they?
Yeah, I see it now. I see the hype now. I see the hype. I don't still see the hype with Bellingham though. I thought he was disappointing the past couple of games. Maybe he's getting ready for the transfer next year. So 1-1 between Milan and Salzburg. The next game was Madrid versus Celtic. So this game I watched the first half, and Celtic were really pressing Madrid. I mean, really pressing. They could have scored.
They hit the post.
Yeah.
Celtic hit the post.
Yeah, but Madrid do what Madrid do. If you don't take your chances, they'll punish you. You don't take your chances, they punish you.
Suck the pressure, and then
the problem that I had. The problem.
Go ahead.
Sorry. The problem that I had with Celtic is that they were creating some dangerous passages of play, but the problem was the final end, the finishing. That's what says like them, because if you look at the amount of times of creative passages that they made, you would think they could have scored maybe 3 or even 4 goals. But the problem was they were not clinical in front of goal. That's what somewhat cost them the game.
Yeah, absolutely. So no surprise with Madrid versus Celtic. Shakhtar, it surprised me, man. I watched that game. It was a good game. That's a good game, man. That was a hot game, and they literally blew apart Leipzig. I think Leipzig actually had to fire their manager. I believe they fired their manager after that game, man, and got somebody else in.
You know what? This is a team who played against City back in the days, and people used to say City are lucky to get this team, but this team is very dangerous.
Very dangerous.
They're very organized team, because no matter they sell, they sold the Brazilian players. That would always do that. They always find other talent to bring in, and they know how to play football, and they're a great football team. So you have to be on your day. You have to be like top notch. I bet you Leipzig thought they would just bulldoze their way past Shakhtar. And I hope Shakhtar make it, and then we meet them in the next round as always. But anyway, Leipzig it's quite interesting to see that Leipzig were able to, regardless the manager, right? There was a change, but it's too soon for them to be able to just walk over Dortmund. So Leipzig has a good team, Carl. There's good players in there.
They beat us last year, they were 2-1.
Yeah, and they just walked over Dortmund. So look, Shakhtar beat them 4-1. That's a lot of goals.
Yeah.
What was it? RB Leipzig's manager is the former Dortmund manager.
Yeah, Marco Rose, I think. Yeah. Interesting. Nima says, honestly, I was surprised by Kanji's performance. And that's fine, Nima. And I respect to you. All opinions are fair. But Patrick and I and Adam were not surprised, because there was a lot of noise coming out from Germany and from rivals saying the guy was horrible. We watched this guy against us in the Champions League. We studied this guy's attributes, his speed, his control, his passing, his cool head, and we were not surprised at all.
Because you know what it was, Gundo, Carl and Patrick. I was told by a Dortmund fan, because I think he messaged me on Twitter. Yeah, he was telling me, this Akanji, you would love him, especially this kid. Yeah, he's very talented with ball playing. Yeah, that's what his attribute is. And he said to me, he will come into your team, and I feel like he will fit your team like a glove. At first, I was saying, you know what? I thought, what is this guy talking about? I thought I was laughing, and then after I seen it with my 2 eyes, then I said, you know what? I was quick to open my mouth and say a judgment, and then I said, now I understand why this Dortmund fan was telling me that this Akanji kid is gonna fit like a glove in this system.
Yeah, everybody wanted him.
And if you watch him,
everybody wanted him. Years ago, everybody wanted him. I think he played against Man United. Everybody wanted him, but Dortmund held him. They didn't want to let him go. When he went to Dortmund, went to Dortmund. He was very great. It's just that he hasn't fulfilled his full potential yet, because looking at him that time and the time when he was at Dortmund, he was great at Dortmund, but that was not his best. As Carl says, always watch him against Switzerland, but his potential hasn't been fulfilled. And it's good that at the age of 29, he's decided to come under the coaching of Pep. And I think we will see the best years. And it's the right time for us to buy him, because right now he's more experienced, more grown up, more mature, and he will listen. So, yeah.
Yeah. Speak about the next one. The next game I watched and I thought was interesting. I spent time on it. Was Paris versus Juventus. A couple of things happened in that game, right? Mbappe's first goal was brilliant. Neymar gave him the assist, scored a goal. Vlahovic.
I thought he was cursed. He was cursed by Pogba.
We'll come to that. Vlahovic. Remember Vlahovic? There was all the noise about Vlahovic, all the hype.
Yeah, he's a baller.
He disappeared, man. He just disappeared in the game.
Yeah, it's Allegri. He keeps keeping him on the bench. He leaves him on the bench, and he's scored amazing free kicks in the last 2 games for Juventus. He's actually a baller. He's actually one of the best players, and Juventus fans don't understand why Allegri keeps putting him on the bench.
And then Weston McKennie scores a goal, and then the moment of the game was when Mbappe was going through on goal, and was running down the right hand side, and he was about to score. He should have passed the ball to Neymar, but he tried to score himself from a near post. And everybody was like, what is he doing? That selfishness that he normally has. Maybe that's a Pogba curse on him, because he should have crossed that ball all the way to Neymar on the left-hand side to score. He didn't. Did you see that?
Yeah,
and then he says shouting. There's a clip of him shouting at somebody, says, "This is how you should pass the ball." That kid is the ego is killing him. I don't know if you've seen the clips all over Twitter of him shouting at one of his teammates, saying that this is how you have to pass the ball for me to be able to receive it nicely. Like, I don't understand what he's doing to himself, man. I know you want to be a diva, but his diva is becoming a bit out of hand. But you know what, Juventus, we knew that they're the underdogs coming in here. It's not the same Juventus team anymore. But I like the fact they put a bit of a fight, you know. Keeping the scoreline to 2-1 is a bit respectable. Because I was thinking it's going to be 5-0 or 4-0. That's what I was looking at. But
I mean, Adam, I'm still not convinced with Paris Saint-Germain. I think defensively they are weak. I really do.
Same here. That's where I feel like that's where their weakness is their defense. Going forward, yes, they're great, but at a point you got to think to yourself, listen, yeah, there's all great going forward, but defensively, that's where it's going to cost you, say, coming up against a Bayern Munich or Real Madrid.
Yeah. The next game, I won't talk too much about that game. I didn't even watch that game. The Benfica, Maccabi Haifa, I didn't even worry myself about that game. You can watch all the games. You just have to just pick the ones that you think. But the Ajax are hot, Adam. Whew. They are hot, man. They played 1-4-0, right? In the first game, they play this weekend again. They bashed another team, I think 4 or 5-0.
For a team that has lost its best players.
Yeah. Ajax, and they go to Anfield. We'll talk about Liverpool in a minute, but Ajax, man, I watched the highlights. They were ripping it up, man. They punished Rangers. Every opportunity was almost a goal. It was a very good performance from them. And then we have our good friends across the highway, all the way in Liverpool. I watched this game in total, man. I watched this full game, and guys, this was a lesson, man. A lesson. You know, Klopp has never won a game against Napoli.
I know he's never. So as Liverpool, I think so. They struggle.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but Napoli seems to have Liverpool's jinx card or something. But they always beat them.
Because Liverpool play very, very cocky. They play with the extra high line against these other teams, thinking, oh, they're not that great, we'll be able to beat them. Because Napoli do the same thing every year. Insigne and them guys were doing the same stuff back in the days, where if you have a high line, it's ball over the top. And now they've got Osimhen, who's very quick. All they were doing is ball over the top. And you know what? It was so obvious. It was as if it's FIFA. There was a point in time I was laughing because it was a bit embarrassing. I was like, is this a FIFA game? Like, you literally hook over the top. And that's what you do. Like, Carl, like, it was even a video game. And I was laughing. I was like, come on. Somebody have the brains to say, this is not working for us. It was just over the top. But when the fullback gets the ball halfway line, they curve it. And that's it. They're through on goal.
Well, the thing that
this could have been 6.
the thing that they do well, I think the thing that Napoli do very well, and maybe that's why they are able to get the best of Liverpool at home, is the fact that they always combine. They always have these combination plays between their players, always very tight together, right? And when they lose the ball, they win it back quickly, but they don't make many errors with the ball.
They don't.
And when you don't make many errors with the ball against Liverpool, you're getting behind. Liverpool's strength is when you make an error, they counter press you, they win the ball back, and they attack you
in dangerous areas. Yeah.
Right. But if you have a team that doesn't make errors because they're confident on the ball and they make those combination plays and there's always an output, you will more than likely get joy against Liverpool. Right. That's what they do. Think about Crystal Palace game against 1-1 against Liverpool. How did Crystal Palace score? Combination play, good passing, accurate passing to Zaha. Zaha's in from Eberechi Eze. Likewise, yesterday, Napolitano, Zielinski, and Gisa, the CDM for Napoli. Yes, that game. That guy was that was a man of the match performance. He bossed that game. His movement off the ball. He'll get the ball. He'll fake his body and go in. Rolled up the opposition and go in. It was a wonderful performance from Napoli. I really enjoyed that game. I thought it was, they were sharp, they were quick, they were incisive, pass and move football. Liverpool's high line was exploited, and they looked defensively very shaky. I've never seen Van Dijk play like that. I was surprised, Adam and Patrick, at how Trent was playing. There was one move that we saw a clip on. It's going on Twitter where Trent.
Were you surprised, or you were just amazed by this particular series? Because everyone has always said this kid is not great defensively. It's only a few people.
Patrick, I was surprised. Something's not right with the kid.
Because Gunda, I remember saying to a Liverpool fan, I said to them, listen, yes, I get that. Yes, Trent is doing the system, yes, and all that. But first and foremost, listen, he is a defender. If he can't do the basic job as a defender, then he's failing his job. Is that not right? But if you're a midfielder, and you cannot pass the ball correctly or distribute the ball properly, then why are you a midfielder? And then the argument they will tell you, some Liverpool fans, he's following the system of Jurgen Klopp. Yes, I understand that. Yes, but first and foremost, he is a defender. As a defender, you do your job as a defender. If you can't do the basics of that, then what's the point of you? What's the point of you being a defender there? Then push him into the midfield.
I don't know. I just found it. I'm not a Liverpool fan. God knows I'm a Liverpool fan.
It wasn't only him, isn't it? It was also the rest of the team walking.
Yeah, exactly. I do have friends that are Liverpool fans, but that when he was walking, someone goes past you and you're walking, then you stop and you watch.
Fabinho also walked.
What is going on here?
Maybe there's something not right with the team, because I also saw Fabinho walking when Trent walked. Did not do anything or attempt anything. They literally watched that ball. They watched the ball. They watched the players, and the players, the Napoli players. Let me not say that as if they played a fast combination. It was slow. You could see it. It was like this, like very slow. He ran in, go. None of them. They were just walking. I don't know. Somebody says the team is fatigued. Somebody says the team is fatigued because last season they were pushing for the quad.
It's possible. It's possible that they're mentally fatigued, because to go all the way 4 competitions and win out with the 2 biggest at the end of the day can affect you mentally. It happens. But my God, I was surprised. Let's not forget, the game was 3-0 at halftime. It could have been 4. Missed penalty. And how many chances that they made? It could have been 5 at halftime.
Could have been embarrassing.
So this
game, embarrassing, but could have been more
embarrassing. Yeah. Okay, so we've done that. The other games that Club Brugge, I didn't bother with that game. I didn't waste my time with that game. Bayern Munich, Inter Milan.
I actually enjoyed that game. Leverkusen were unlucky. They hit the post too.
What did you see from that game?
What I can tell you from this game is both teams were balanced. Bayern Leverkusen could have won this game, but as I said, they missed their chances. But Club Brugge, to be honest with you, it was actually a 1-1. Leverkusen scored through a free kick, but it was a very tight offside. And the goal was ruled offside. It was going to be a draw game. To be honest with you, it was 2 teams that are balanced. But Club Brugge, fair play to them. I understand why they beat PSG that time. They're very organized, and they take their moments. But this team, it could have been Leverkusen winning this, so it was going to be a draw. But as I said, it was a very tight offside, which I feel was a bit over the extreme offside. But anyway, the new technology and it's working, isn't it?
Yeah. The Bayern Munich game, I watched the highlights again. Inter Milan, I don't know what they're doing in this competition. They always
Bayern, two goals by Leroy Sané.
Yeah, 2 goals by Leroy Sané, even though they're struggling in the Bundesliga. And then you have Frankfurt Sporting. I watched this game, and halftime was 0-0, and then Sporting turned it on. Sporting would be a difficult game against Tottenham because they're Portuguese, they're brutal, they work hard, they grind you down, they look for the opportunities.
And Tottenham were lucky. I don't know, it's just
Very
me. I
lucky.
think
I
they were
watched that
lucky in this game. Without the red card, I don't think they were winning this game.
I completely agree with you. In fact, I would say I have some notes here, right? Tottenham are playing a 4-4-2, Marseille are playing a 3-4-3. Lloris was weak, man. Just kept losing the ball, kept doing foolish stuff with the ball. But Marseille were dominant until the red card happened. In fact, they actually had more possession at Spurs. And then remembers the last man tackle, red card is off. And then Tottenham didn't score till the 75th minute, and it was 2 set pieces, which tells me that Marseille was still in the game and they still had the chance to go through. Conte always struggles in Champions League. Even when he was at Juventus, he always struggled to get his team up and running in the Champions League. And then the Barcelona game, I didn't even bother with this game. I just didn't bother. 5-1 against Victoria Pilsen. That's just a waste of time
what's his
watching.
name was the standout in this game, and Dembele. It looks like he was hardworking. Carl, he was everywhere. He was in midfield. He got the assist to Lewandowski. He also got the assist to give to Ferran Torres. What a lovely goal by Ferran Torres. But it was the Dembele show. Dembele, amazing man. I remember when I was telling people that this guy, all he needs is somebody to put an arm around him and then to keep him fit. The good thing about Dembele is he can use both feet, and when he's on his day, he's a very good winger. I would have loved him one day if he landed at City. I think under Pep's discipline and stewardship, even under Conte, I think he can be amazing because I think all he needs is discipline, and it looks like Javi has managed to get through him. It's also amazing to see that after he got married, his discipline has changed according to Barcelona fans. After the marriage, I think he's settled down. He doesn't behave in a childish way. Now he's more of a professional. And fair play to him for cutting his wages and staying on. He's the best player so far. He's the best player so far.
Well, it's good to see him settle down. When you get married, good things begin to happen to you most of the time. It's good that he settled down and he's doing well. So guys, that's the review of Matchday 1. We just went through all the games, what we learned about the games. A couple of comments here. Katuta says that if Liverpool are not careful, Ajax will slap them. I agree. Ajax is bowling these days. Watch out for the guy called Kudus. I talked about this guy, Emmanuel Kudus, the Ghanaian that plays for Ajax. That boy will not stay long at Ajax. That boy
isn't he the kid? Isn't he the kid that came from Rangers? Are you talking about that one?
I'm not sure he came from Rangers, but what I know is that the boy is good, man. Emmanuel Kudus, the Ghanaian boy.
Because the one that I'm thinking of is a different one. Patrick probably knows who I'm talking about. He was at Rangers and then he went to Ajax. I think he has like some dreadlocks, like ponytails or dreadlocks or something like that. I don't know where.
Okay. Nima said, Patrick.
The kid with dreadlocks.
I think it's something like that.
Maybe it's him. Maybe
I don't know.
Maybe it's him.
No, yeah, I'm talking about Carl. Carl, you're talking about the kid with the dreadlocks. He was all over the place and he was on fire.
For Ajax.
Yeah.
That's him. Emmanuel Kudus.
Yeah. He's a defensive midfielder. He looked very good.
He's very good. I think he plays 8 or 6.
He was amazing. I saw him. He was a standout.
How old is he anyways, the kid?
Let me check him right here. I'm checking him right now. Emmanuel Kudus is 22 years old.
He would definitely not stay there for long. The only issue I have is
attacking midfielder. Yep.
The only issue I have is that Ajax, the Napoli don't let somebody go that easy.
Yeah, he's at Ajax. He's been at Ajax all his life. Yeah, in the academy, and he grew up, and now he's joined, and he's in the first life. Yeah, yep. He good boy, a really good player, really good player. I'm looking forward to seeing him on Tuesday against Liverpool. So let's go and talk about match day 2. What other comments do we have here? We have comment from Nima says Salah's getting 400k a week. Everybody else is being underpaid. Well, that could be a problem. That could be a problem. If Van Dijk is getting 120 or 200 and this guy's getting 400, there's a gap. Marseille was still better with red card to red card. I agree with you. We all agree. Kudus at Ajax. was very, very good. Yeah, he was very, very good. I'm looking forward to seeing him again. So let's talk about match coming up next week. We've done that. Let's go to match day 2. Match day 2 this week in the Champions League. We just talk about what we think is going to happen in these games, guys. Adam and Patrick. Pilsen Inter. What happens to that game? Who wins?
I think this is this Victoria.
Yeah.
I don't know. I watched the Inter game. Inter were not great at all against Bayern. They didn't look great, but it's Bayern anyway. But I expect them to win this. But I think Victoria are not the pushover as people think. Even though they were beaten 5-1 against Barcelona, they gave a bit of a fight, But I didn't see a bit of a fight in Inter. So I have a feeling this Victoria team will be one of those teams that is difficult to beat at home.
Yeah, it could be interesting. The good thing is that we get to watch it a little earlier in the day. And so you're going with Are you going with Pilsen or Inter to win?
I'm going with Inter, just because it's Inter. They need the win now because they lost the first game. I think for them, when they're sitting in that group, they see themselves as the ones that have to beat the other two teams.
Yeah,
that's what they'll get the points. Yeah, so I go for Inter.
Okay, Adam, what about Sporting versus Tottenham? What do you think is going to happen in that game?
Something weirdly tells me that I'm going Sporting to win this game. So I'm going to go with Sporting.
Is it Sporting at home?
At home, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Sporting.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Sporting either get a point or they win this game. I don't think they lose this game. Especially because Sporting already have 3 points in the bag where they beat who did they beat again? They beat some other club. I can't remember who it was. Eintracht Frankfurt, that's it. They beat Frankfurt 3-0 away, which is not easy to do away. So I think Sporting get this result, either a point or 3 points. Liverpool Ajax, guys, Adam, and this game is going to be very, very, very interesting. Because if Liverpool do not win this game, which is unlikely that they lose it, it puts real pressure on them. If Ajax goes 6 points clear and Milan beat whatever team is it? Whatever team is in that group? Is it there's Liverpool, Ajax? There's Ajax beat. I can't remember who it was in the group.
Napoli's in their group, and
Napoli, Rangers. That's it. Napoli Rangers. Right, If Napoli win and Ajax win, that's 6 points. It becomes very, very difficult. How do you see?
A very interesting group.
How do you see this going?
I don't know. I can't predict it. I predicted the other one. I said Napoli were going to beat Liverpool. I think it was on Talk Football when I was doing. I think this is going to be a draw game. But I have a feeling Ajax will rip them apart if they're not careful.
Yeah, they got it. Yeah, I mean that high line, and they have that guy now, Bergwijn. They have a couple of players that could.
Yeah, but Thiago is back. So maybe that'll be the advantage.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So we're going draw. We're going to win. What are we going for this one?
I don't know. I think it's going to be a draw.
I'm going to say a draw as well. But I could see a chance where Ajax probably gets a late goal and win the game, possibly.
Okay, I was fixing my battery. My battery went off. The next one we'll talk about is let's do Porto, Bruges.
Not Barcelona, Bayern.
We'll come to that in a minute. Porto, Bruges. Porto have 3 points already. Bruges have 1 point.
That's a draw.
That's a draw. Oh yeah. Yeah,
Bruges beat Leverkusen, so
they did.
Bruges have got 3 points. Yeah,
they did. And Atleti versus Leverkusen away, that could be 3 points for Atleti. Or what do you think? You watched Leverkusen, Patrick. What do you think?
They're good, and I think they're going to cause. Atletico Madrid were lucky to win the game they won.
They were last minute goal, eh?
Yeah, it was against Porto, isn't it? So Porto don't have any points there. So it was a last-minute goal by Antoine Griezmann, a header. But they don't look great. They don't look great at all, to be honest with you. Even Porto did not park the bus. Porto actually were playing them football. We're playing football with them. Okay. They just look like a team that's, I don't know. They just don't look great. They didn't impress me. But I think this game might be a draw.
Yeah. Katuta says that Ajax 2-0, 2-2 on current form. I can't see Liverpool beating Ajax. pick a draw because it's at Anfield.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting. 1 point from 2 games, and that's going to be a difficult one. Adam, Marseille, Frankfurt, both teams need points because they both lost their opening games. How do you see this going?
I think Marseille will probably win this game, say like 2-0 or something.
Because they played well, right? They played well against Tottenham.
Yeah,
They did. They did against. Without the red card, they were going to do well. But is that red card going to affect them? Because that's one of the starters, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think Frankfurt have been poor, man. Ever since they won the Europa League, they've just been very, very poor. I mean, just terrible. Losing at
That's
home
what happens
3-0.
to most teams. Some teams do
Yeah.
that. Every time they win the Champions League or the Europa, they want to relax, you know?
It's incredibly poor. But I'm going to watch that game because two teams that need 3 points, both balanced. It's going to be an open, exciting game. I think that's going to be one that we should definitely keep an eye on and watch. And then the final one, let's spend some time on this one. I'm going to make a prediction. I think that Barcelona are going to hammer Bayern Munich at home.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. It's something I'm seeing in this Barcelona side that gives me. I'm not a fan, but I just feel that they're a really good side. They're a really good side.
I think
when they
people
click,
are giving them much credit as they should.
when they click, they're a very good side. They play just like us. We have better quality. We're more drilled. We're more patient. We're more mature. But they are a very good side. And we have Lewandowski banging in goals against Bayern's high line, with Ousmane Dembele against Bayern's high line. It's Nagelsmann with even with Sané and Mane. I just feel like Barcelona are going to give Bayern Munich a taste of the medicine that they suffered under them for years past. I mean, Adam, Patrick, what do you think?
I'm on the
I
same
think
boat as
Bayern
you.
Munich is probably going to end up. To be honest with you, I'm going to go the opposite way. I think Bayern Munich is going to end up beating Barcelona. But I could see a chance where Lewandowski probably wins the game for Barcelona and comes back to haunt Bayern Munich.
Adam, question for you guys and guys out there in YouTube and Twitter land: who is a better manager, Nagelsmann or Xavi?
Xavi, for me.
Yeah, and I think that if it was the old manager, Hansi Flick with Bayern, no question, it's going to be Bayern.
That'd be more dangerous.
Nagelsmann, I just feel like he lacks the experience to navigate this kind of game, and Xavi has the players to really do damage. The only weakness Barcelona has, I think, is in centre-back position, Patrick. Eric Garcia, Gerard Piqué.
They've got Christensen, Kunde. No.
Oh, okay, that's true. Kunde's back. That's true. They do have Kunde, right? Guys out the way. So, yeah, we have comments coming back in. It said Nagelsmann. He feels Nagelsmann's a better manager. Timothy. Okay, that's interesting. Daniel says Xavi under Guardiola school. Yeah, I think this game is going to be. This is one that I know we're all going to watch because whoever wins this game, I think, is basically qualified for the next round because Bayern won their first game. So yeah, basically going to go through. The rest are just. Really, Patrick, who wins the game for you?
I think it's going to be Barcelona. I think Bayern have had 3 draws in the last few games. And the teams that have drawn against are not better than Barcelona. I think Barcelona are very dangerous. People are underestimating this Barcelona team because they've got people like Kessie in that midfield and who's looking great. Pedri looks amazing. The kids they have, Pedri, Gavi, these kids are good. Dembele is back. I think Ansu Fati is back from injury, or I don't know if he's still he's just started training. Somebody will let me know in the comments. Ferran Torres looks more hungry now because he sees Lewandowski there. So I think this game might be difficult. I see a draw or again for Bayern, or I see Barcelona winning it.
I'm with you, Patrick. I just feel like Barcelona are going to win this game. I mean, Katuta says there's no way Barca defense will contain Sané, Mane, Gnabry, Müller for 90 minutes. As if they have the ball, Katuta. If they don't have the ball, what are they going to do? And the people who can keep the ball the most in that Barcelona side, they know how to keep the ball. Yes, they can get counter-pressed and counter-attack, but that Lewandowski against his old teammates at the Allianz Arena, And Dembele running at who is going to be there, Alphonso Davies or we'll see. But it's a fair comment. Timothy says here that read what Klopp said about Nagelsmann, has been a big fan for years. Okay, what did he say? Tell us what he said in the comments if you don't mind. Daniel, I'm so happy that the game is not on the same day as the game. I wouldn't watch it if it was. Yeah, UEFA needs to sort the stuff out, man. We need to watch all these games like the Premier League and have it back one after the other, right? Not at the same time where we have to look at 3 screens or you're at work and you have to dive under the desk to watch a game. You need to sort yourselves out, guys, and have these games in some sort of fashion, maybe a weekend or something where we can all watch as much as we can. But yeah, so that's a preview of match day 2 in the UEFA Champions League. It's going to be a busy couple of days next week. Hopefully, we get to watch the Premier League.
Are you previewing? Is this just a preview of the Tuesday games?
Yeah, we did a review of the last week, and now we've done a preview of this week. So we're doing both at the same time.
So I'm saying this is Tuesday games, isn't it? It's not this Tuesday and Wednesday games.
Let's do. Oh, it's Wednesday game. Okay, I forgot this. Where is Wednesday?
Yeah,
game?
I was wondering. I was like, there must be Wednesday games, isn't it?
Yeah, that's good.
You
So
see?
Wednesday game. Here we go. So when Milan versus Zagreb, I'm going Milan for this one, guys. I think guys out there, what do you guys think?
I think Milan are not going to mess up against like Chelsea.
I agree with you. Shakhtar versus Celtic. Adam.
I'm going to go with Shakhtar.
Me too. I think just have more experience than Celtic.
Yeah.
Rangers Napoli. Patrick, I'm going with Napoli for this one.
Yeah, it's Napoli. I don't think Rangers will do much in this, man. I think they belong to Europa. I think
I agree.
Coming to Champions League was a bit of a stretch.
Yeah. Chelsea Salzburg, Adam. What do you think? Is this a pressure game for Chelsea?
Under Porter.
I think it's a tough game for Chelsea. I can see them probably bouncing back, the new manager bounce, and then probably winning it. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, new manager bounce is probably going to be in effect here, Patrick.
Yeah, they have to, and they're at home, and we'll see. Anyway, it starts with it could have started this weekend. Unfortunately, obviously, games were cancelled due to the passing of the Queen. But I think they will be under pressure. But let's not take advantage of it, because Salzburg gave Bayern a fright last season. Remember
that game?
And Salzburg are a team that don't just go down easy. So Chelsea's going to have to come with their best football. If they think they're just going to run over Salzburg because they've got a new manager bounce, I think they'll have another thing coming. But I see a 2-1 win for Chelsea.
Yeah, I remember the Salzburg game last year against Bayern Munich. It was 1-1 in Austria, and it was a very, very tough game for Bayern Munich that they had to get through. A lot of the players have now left, like Brendan Aronson's gone to Leeds United. A couple of players have left, but there's still a decent squad. But Chelsea should get the job done against Salzburg, all things being equal. And then Madrid, Leipzig. This is going to be an interesting game with a new manager for Leipzig. And the way they just played this weekend against Dortmund, Madrid should win this game, but it won't be easy. Adam, Patrick?
They will. This Madrid team, they will regardless. Leipzig obviously are very good on the counter. They have got pace. They might get Madrid, but Madrid, that Madrid, they will find a way to win. They never had a good. They never had a good. They never had a good results at the Bernabeu. You know that, right? Before they beat us, they were struggling there. So they usually struggle at their own stadium. Let's just see though. Now they've got a new stadium. Let's just see how it goes. But I expect a very difficult game, but Madrid will always make it. Benzema is injured. I don't know how long he's injured for. It's now Hazard who's playing as a false 9.
He is injured.
So maybe that'll affect them. But I see a difficult game. We might see a surprise, but I know Madrid will take care of business. To be honest, that group doesn't look like a group that's one that somebody has to struggle.
Daniel says, Carl, sure you didn't forget our game on Wednesday. It skipped my mind, Daniel, because I just came back from a game, so I'm absolutely fatigued. But thank God Patrick is there to remind me of my weakness. Katuta, what are you saying? He's saying that Daniel's PSG versus McAvoy will be ugly. We'll have to pray for them. Why so? Oh, it'll be ugly in terms of the number of goals that Haifa will concede. Yeah, it could be difficult for that team. And then my friend Mikey will now be blown up Mbappe's stats. Neymar's stats because
Neymar, because Mikey wants him at City.
They're playing against Farmers League teams from Israel and
Not even farmers, carpenters.
Copenhagen, Sevilla. What do you expect for this one, Adam?
I think it's gonna be a Sevilla win, but it'll be. I could see Copenhagen winning, but I don't see Sevilla losing this game. To be honest with you.
Yeah, if Copenhagen win this game, didn't Sevilla fire the manager? They did, right? Yeah, they did.
I don't know. Did they?
Did. Yeah, I think they did. They did. We'll go to the next one, which is Juventus versus Benfica. This is a tough game. Patrick and Adam, this is a difficult game for both sides. Juventus versus Benfica. Because Benfica have 3 points already. Juve have none.
Yeah,
to be honest,
it's gonna be difficult.
To be honest with you, I see Benfica beating Juventus because even now when I've watched the draw against they played and they got two red cards. Juventus, I could see Benfica having enough to beat them because defensively Juventus are awful, and then
Yeah, they don't have delete, isn't that? Yeah, delete is not there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the issue with Juventus as well is that they have this talented kid in Vlahovic, but they don't give him the service. That's the problem I've realized with them, is that they don't give him the service that he needs to thrive. That like how he was thriving at Florentino or whichever team that he was at previously.
Yeah, Fiorentina. That's going to be interesting. That's an interesting game, and that may be the game of the round if of the match day. You know, on Wednesday, if the other teams are off their own point. But yeah, that game is going to be tough, man. I think it's going to be a draw at worst. I don't think Juve wins that game. I don't think they do.
Yeah.
But then again, if they play like they play against PSG in the second half, maybe they have a chance. But
maybe they do. But with delete not there, and Juventus fans are complaining already that his absence is a very big miss. You know.
Yeah. Let's do the last one, guys. Let's spend time on the last one. City versus Dortmund. What do you guys expect from that game in terms of who plays? Who plays who. In fact, let's even do should do a lineup for that game. Let's do a lineup for that game. Let's do it. Let me set up. Let's do a lineup. And guys out there, let's do a lineup for that game. Let me switch my screens to make sure we can do a quick lineup for that game against Dortmund. What's that website again, Patrick? The one that we used for lineup is called again?
Select 11.
Let's see. Select 11. Here we go. Chosen 11.
Yeah, chosen 11. Yeah,
chosen 11. Okay, let's share. Just one moment. Here we go. Chosen 11, and we are sharing. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Okay, 4-3-3. So against Dortmund, goal. Who should you put in goal?
Ortega.
It's going to be Edison.
It's Edison.
Eddie.
I have a feeling it's going to be the same back four. I think again that was there against Sevilla.
You think so?
I think so.
You're gonna have to drop the two center backs there. Then. There and there, and then the four backs drop them there close to the. Keep going. Yeah, that's it.
But you know how we play with this. Yeah, talk about these three. Yeah. I know it's a 4-3-3, but we actually played. This is how we kind of play. We actually have a build up in a three with the ball.
Yeah, but you're gonna confuse people every time we talk.
I know. They get confused, but just to educate folks out there. So there's a rule around positional play that says that you should not have more than 3 horizontally and no more than 2 vertically. So you see here, right? You have 2 vertically, right, and 3 horizontally. No more than 3 horizontal and no more than 2 vertical. So if you watch the game that we play, even though we're 4-3-3, at any point in time, unless we're under pressure, like back, everybody's defending back, normally we don't have no more than 3 horizontally, and then 2 vertically. But let's just do this for So center backs, who are we going here?
I think
It's going
it's
to be
Diaz.
Diaz and Akanji.
Akanji against his old teammates. He'll be pumped for this game. He'll be pumped for this game because he knows this guy is in and out now, right? He knows them in and out, right? Ready, Cancelo?
Yeah, because Kyle Walker is not fit yet.
Left back, Ake or Gomez?
No, Gomez. Well, I think Ake keep him as a centre back and play him in the Prem game. They'll bring him in maybe later on to just bring his fitness up.
Okay. Who's playing holding midfield?
I would love Phillips, but it's a
It's
Champions
gonna be
League second
Rodri.
game. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Rodri.
And sub him out after a while, right? Maybe after 6 minutes. If we're this is where it gets interesting now. Is it easier for us to do the front three and then come to the midfield, or do the midfield come to the front three? Because if we solve this one here, this is easy to fix.
I think we should sort out the front first, and then that way we can be able to sort out the three in the midfield.
So Patrick and Adam, who? And I mean, is this just a question, or you just have his name there?
Gucci, Grealish.
Erling Braut Haaland.
Yeah, that one it picks itself.
Erling Braut. Who plays left for us?
I think because I've said this before. Every time you see the interviews, right? Pep believes that Jack Grealish is more sharp this season and ready and hungry. Because I told you after the other game, he said Jack has come into this season sharp, and every time he says you've come this season in a good state and sharp, he'll play you. I think he'll play him again. I think he will. I think Pep really wants Jack to, because he said that preseason he came firing. I think I told you this before the Sevilla game, that after the other game he was saying Jack, unfortunately he got injured in the second game or one of the games, but he's come back very sharp and very precise. He said this about Myers and he never dropped Myers. He kept on playing Myers. I think it's going to be Jack again. I have a feeling it's going to be Jack.
If Jack is on the left, Adam, where does Foden start? Does he drop? What does he do?
That's the problem. You've got the or if you play him on the right, then you have to drop, say, Bernardo or somebody, or KDB. That's the problem that you've got.
Yeah. So people are here saying they want to see the same back. They want to see the same back four as against Sevilla. We've done that for you. We put the same back four in. Nima says that. What did Nima say? Nima says here, Haaland and Akanji against the former team. Okay, that I agree. Daniel says, I told people. Okay, Gomez. I'll change that for you. I told people Akanji is not fifth choice centre back. He has everything to start games for us. If he performs, he plays. I 100% agree with you, Daniel. 100% agree. We have this tendency against in our fan base to always slag off players who come from Germany or for some other nation. We never really trust them, which is okay. But I'm not surprised that Akanji could start for us. Katu, Dortmund are awful. We should beat them 5-0. We'll go on with Ederson, Cancelo, Diaz, Ake, Gomez, Rodri, KDB, Kundo, Mahrez. Okay. I think Pep makes some changes with Alvarez, Bernardo. Okay, good. Right. So let's see who else has some comments. We're trying to figure out who the front three is, guys. Let me change Gomez's name to a Z or a Z, so we don't confuse him with the old Gomez that went to. And
Cancelo remove the other L.
1L, right?
Yeah.
Right.
There you go.
So we're going with Grealish here.
No. Oh yeah.
Are we doing Foden or Grealish here?
To be honest with you, I will have to play Foden on the left then.
Are you sure it's not going to be Jack again? I'm telling you, I have a feeling it's going to be Jack and Foden in both those wings. Look at the interviews, Adam. Look at the interviews. He keeps hyping Jack, saying Jack has come in a very good form. And if we are being honest,
at the same time, I would not be surprised if, say, Pep ends up playing the front three of Haaland, Foden on the left, and then Haaland as the striker, and then Riyad Mahrez But I would not be surprised because you got to remember that Mahrez, when it comes to the Champions League, Mahrez is also up.
Yeah.
but not this
His
season.
performance. That's what just.
Mahrez has been terrible,
I
man.
don't know.
Mahrez has been terrible. He even knows he's been terrible this season. I mean, he's shaking his head when he's coming off. He knows that he's off his game.
Can we not admit that maybe, to be honest, that maybe Pep is not wrong? It looks like when Jack is not playing, regardless of people want GA assist and goals, it seems like the team is much better with Jack in it. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan because he hasn't impressed me to what I'm looking for. But I think we're more stable. I don't know, Adam, if you've checked that when he's not there, we're not like as fancy as we are.
Yeah.
But I think he will. And I'm telling you, Adam, I'm going to send you the links of the interviews. Every interview, all he's doing is talking about Jack.
No, you know what? The one thing I love about Grealish is that when he has the ball, he does not lose the ball. The only way you're
that's
going
why
to
Pep likes him. I think that's why
the
Pep
only
is
way-
hyping him.
Patrick, the only way that you're going to take that ball off him is unless you physically make contact with him, which leads to, let's say, a free kick or a penalty. That's the only way you're going to take the ball off Grealish.
The other thing too is guys, because we have Grealish who's right-footed on the left-hand side, Gomez is left-footed on the left-hand side. So you have that balance, right? If you play Foden there, you have two lefties on the left-hand side. You don't have that balance left and right. So this guy now can cut in here. This guy can go wide, right?
Do you think?
Can
Can I
wide,
ask something? Do you remember I was telling you this? Yeah, do you remember I was telling you this, and I was saying it on the thing, and I said it, and everybody obviously said no. But have you go? I want you to go back, Carl, and watch every game Foden has played as a right winger. He's dangerous, and I understand why he is dangerous that side. It's because when you are a right winger, especially somebody like Foden, how he's very tricky and he's able to score. Have you noticed he struggles at the left with scoring? He usually scores them like this, like he hits them like this. I don't know if you understand. He can't use his right. He's very left-footed, so he can't use.
You know why? Because again, it's lefty on the left-hand side. It's harder to score goals. It's easier to give assists because you're in.
You've noticed he always hits it, or he misses the post. He scores. He scored against Liverpool, but if you've noticed that even the time when we whooped Liverpool 4-0. The times we put Liverpool 4 above, he's on the right-hand side and he's more comfortable. Even the Dortmund goal, he's more comfortable when he's standing this side and his left foot is facing the goal like this. And I've noticed that, I get it. It's easier like that. That's why Mahrez used to be dangerous before people found him out that all he'll do is cut in. But when Foden cuts in, he keeps the ball between his legs and it's very difficult for you to take it. And I have noticed when he swings it from this side, even the Alisson one where he swings over Alisson's head, and what he did to Robbo. That's why when I was doing my review, I was raving about that because he looks very comfortable that side. Yes, at the left side, he's very useful, but at the right, he looks comfortable and more dangerous to score. Why this side? I've noticed he struggles to, if you see the games, he struggles all the time. He misses the paw because he tries to put it at the end, but with this foot. And I don't know. It's good. I think the more we see him there, the better. It's just, I'd have loved one time to just see maybe Riyad Mahrez play as a left, but I know he's also left-footed. So, but I think
the truth is, Patrick and Adam, that I think Foden on the right side gives us more in terms of dynamism than Mahrez on the right side. Right, he's more threatening. He has quicker plays. He goes on the outside. He comes on the inside. He can go down to midfield. Mahrez, while he's fantastic on the right side, I think this season Foden has clearly been a bit better for us on either side, left or right. Mahrez doesn't play left, but he's been good.
Some Jack did write this, that this season we're gonna see Foden as a right winger more. Remember they wrote this when but obviously because everybody wasn't fit, that's why he was at the left. I think he's dangerous there. I don't know what you think, Adam. I think he's more dangerous when he's that side in terms of
what Gundo said is that with Foden he's more direct. When he has his ball, he's not afraid to go at his man. But with Mahrez, the issue is that and especially against a low block team, you know what Mahrez is going to do? He's just going to cut on into his left foot, and you could just somewhat mark it out. But with Foden, he's unpredictable. It's the same thing with Julian Alvarez, because Julian Alvarez doesn't stay in one place. When he was playing, I think he was, I don't know which team, but he popped in the right, and then he popped on the left. He popped in the middle. Yeah. They don't stay in one place, but as for Riyad Mahrez, he only stays on the right and he cuts on in his left, so it's somewhat predictable.
Why do you think this worked last time? Is it because now, as you say, that Gomez is a left footer, and Grealish was able to cut in, and Gomez was able to occupy that space. It works also for Cancelo, who's now able to cut in, because Foden, that pass he gave to De Bruyne, that's a run a fullback can do. And even the ball that was given to Cancelo before he gave it to Ruben Diaz in the Sevilla game. So so is that what gives an advantage when you are playing against?
Grealish started the game against Sevilla, correct? He did, right?
Did he? He did, yeah.
Yeah, and we had good control on that left side when he was there. We had the game under wraps, and he took him off and moved things around. I think you're right, Patrick. I do think that having Grealish.
So what about yourself? You say you like natural wingers. What's your thing?
I do like natural
these
wingers.
Two, they're attacking in. Or do you say that you don't just like natural wingers when we're playing Cancelo as a left back?
No, I do like natural wingers. I think it stretches. My own preference would be to have Foden, Haaland, and Alvarez. That's my preference. Yeah. For me, if you ask me what I would like to play, that's what I'd like to play. Foden, Haaland, Alvarez. Left on the left, right on the right, and then Haaland through the middle, right? But if we have to compromise and we have to play Grealish, because Grealish is one that's disrupting everything right here. Because if Grealish doesn't play, we know Foden goes to the left-hand side, and we know Alvarez can come into the right, or maybe it's Mahrez or Bernardo. So Grealish now becomes a point that somebody has to drop in the midfield for Grealish. That becomes a problem. But with these inverted wingers here, Foden is, for me, is a better inverted winger than Mahrez is, because Foden can go outside, can come inside, he can go in, can drop in, he can go out, he can dribble, he can run past you, he can do all those things like Mohamed Salah can do, or like Lionel Messi can do as an inverted winger. He knows how to do those things. Mahrez, not so much. So I'm willing to accept that from you that could happen. But for me, my natural, what I would love to see is Foden, Haaland, Alvarez. That for me is it. Nima here says that I would like to see a front three of Foden. Yes, exactly, Nima. Exactly. I completely agree with you. I like to see that. Katu says, Mahrez done Mr. Champions League. There's no better game to start in to boost his confidence. Front three of Grealish will ball. No need after all. I don't disagree. I just feel like this game, we need to kill this game, and Mahrez oftentimes wastes the ball. He's sort of running outside, he'll cut back into traffic. But we'll see what happens. Daniel says, I agree. I like Foden on the right wing more. And then let's see who else is making a comment here. Katuta, if this was a semi-final, my front three will be, yeah, I agree with you. I completely agree with you with Foden, Haaland, and Alvarez. Patrick, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, Adam. So do we agree we're going to go with the front three of Grealish, Haaland, and Foden, or do we want to put the front three that we want, or we think Pep would do?
I wouldn't be against that front three, to be honest. And I think this whole thing of Alvarez, I think we're going to be seeing it rare. I have a feeling we're going to see it against Liverpool. I think we'll see it against Spurs. We might see. I think this front three can actually give trouble to Man United. In my opinion, this front three can give trouble to Man United. I don't know if we'll see Alvarez. I think he's keeping more Alvarez to play him when he hooks up Haaland. I think at the beginning I was excited. I thought we're going to see Alvarez and Haaland multiple times, but I think we will see him in difficult games like Liverpool. We'll see him, but I don't know. I just have a feeling that this is what he wants, especially Grealish. I've seen this season he wants him to work so hard because he keeps giving him a lot of compliments. Like he was giving Mahrez that season. He started Mahrez in every game. So if you're talking about a front three, we're playing against Dortmund. I think this team is capable of beating Dortmund. The only thing right now, Carl, I can tell you is you're missing midfielders. Right?
We're that's why let's do the front three first and come to it, because that if you solve the front three, midfield is less of a problem. Because I mean, Alvarez has more goals than Jack Grealish. He's more threatening on goal than Jack Grealish. Right? On goal, he's scored 2 goals already. Actually, he scored 3 if you count the Barcelona game. Right? So clearly, he's a better producer of goals than Grealish is. Foden has scored as well. Haaland has scored. Jack has not scored yet this season. That's my quandary. You know, why would I start a player that I know hasn't scored when I have players on the bench who have scored? And I want to wrap up this game. You know, it's a problem. But let's vote, guys. Do we keep Grealish? You guys want to keep Grealish, or do we do Foden and Alvarez?
Yeah, let's see the guys in the comments. Guys in the comments, do a vote. Do you want to see a front of Foden, Haaland, and Alvarez, or you want to see this same front three against Dortmund? So the middle, are you putting Gundogan in the middle, or it's Bernardo Silva and De Bruyne again?
We'll come to that problem. So, guys out there, do you want the front three of Jack, Haaland, Foden, or Foden, Haaland, Alvarez? Let us know. Do you want J, H, F, or F, H, A? Let us know out there. Daniel says he has way more energy as well. I guess that's Alvarez. Guys out there in Twitter and YouTube land. Okay, Daniel says he wants Foden, Alvarez, and Haaland. Okay, anybody else want that? Let's see if anybody else can second that, or anybody else has an option out there. Let's hear from you, Twitter. Let's hear from you. Who's out there again? Nima, Charlie. What do you want as your front three? Whatever you guys want is what we're going to put there. Right now, Daniel is winning with the suggestion of Foden, Haaland, and Alvarez. If I don't see anything else in the next 2 minutes, we're gonna agree with that. Agree with that. Okay. All right, we're gonna agree with that. Nobody else is coming on to say anything. So we'll just do it. We'll just go to.
Do you think maybe the reason why he's not playing Alvarez and Haaland, he doesn't want both of them to end up risking an injury? He would rather have a spare strike on the bench, maybe.
I'm not sure. I mean, I doubt it. I mean, he wants
because
to play.
So far the rotation is Haaland gets subbed immediately. He brings Alvarez on, which is for like. In that way, he doesn't has to risk the two, because if he puts both of them and both of them picked up a knock at the same time, or maybe I think that's what I think he's protecting Haaland and making sure that even Alvarez gets minutes, so he's also fresh. Maybe that's his system. Because at first I thought I had a feeling they're going to be playing all together. But I have seen he's more determined to remove Haaland at a certain point in time to just rest him.
Yeah. Let's be logical. I think let's go with Jack. Grealish has to perform, Patrick. I'm sorry. No, I mean I've always backed Grealish. I've always defended it. But if he not perform for this game, that's it though. Make enter bench.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, because we know that Alvarez is more dynamic and he has goals. Okay, Jack, you're 100 million. This is your time. If you not perform for this game, I'm sorry, bro. You just have to go eat bench.
Yeah. Wait, but look, the performance was great against Sevilla. What are we looking at? Goals and assists? Is that what we're looking for?
Yeah. And the speed of the game, the speed, the dynamism, the way that Alvarez can move around the whole field and connect with Haaland, and he's not just going wide and coming in. Grealish, when he runs into the box, he will lose the ball in the box. Then he kind of recovers. So he has to be able to generate that last final pass. But let's go with this. Let's see what happens right here. And then we get to the problem of the midfield, Patrick. We have Gundogan, we have Bernardo Silva, we have Kevin De Bruyne. Who drops of these three?
I don't know. This Dortmund game, I don't think against Dortmund you need speed in midfield. I don't think so. I think either way, Bernardo or Gundo can take this team and can take this team apart. I think Gundogan would be a bit of a nightmare for Dortmund, because looking at that midfield of theirs with Gundogan, I think he's definitely bagging. But I don't know. Gundo seems to be the one who, that's a good one. Grealish has to shoot more. He has to take more risks, and he plays too safe. I think that's the other issue. But people also say that these are the instructions he's being given by Pep.
I agree, but he has to take more chances. He has to be able to do that, or else, after a while, I mean, Alvarez is taking shots and scoring goals. So are we going with Kevin?
Kevin. I'm pretty sure it's straightforward, but I'm pretty sure your heart is telling you to Gundogan has to find the time.
Very, very. It's
Who
a
played
very,
in the
very
Sevilla
hard
game?
one.
Who started in the Sevilla game? It was Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne, isn't it?
Patrick, it won't surprise me if Guardiola, because he wants Kevin, Bernardo, and Gundogan on, it won't surprise me if Grealish drops and then Bernardo plays on the right.
But for Sevilla, I don't think so. Sevilla.
For
I think that's
Dortmund.
becoming for Dortmund, I don't think so. I think if it was up to me, Dortmund will play a high line. Like last time they backed the bus for us a bit, didn't they?
What did Dortmund have in the middle of the park. They have runners. They have Bellingham who can run. So you need somebody who can track him. Gundogan can track Bellingham with speed. Bernardo Silva can.
So it's Bernardo and De Bruyne.
I think
if the game is far on or the game is going out of hand and we see that we're losing control, I think he'll bring.
We're dropping our captain. Can you imagine that? It's crazy, man. These are first world problems with Man City. Because I mean, are we going to drop our captain? We know we need this guy here for his running, right? To chase up Bellingham and chase all these guys in the midfield. We need this guy for his passing. We need him on the right here. This guy is the issue, Patrick, right here. Because we're putting him in, everything else is disrupted. If this guy was not there, then Bernardo goes on the left, Foden goes on the right.
Nah, Jack is fine. I think. Do you know what? You're right. If he doesn't do anything spectacular in this Dortmund game, my God, we have to start looking at you.
Yeah, we have to look at you.
Yeah.
And that's from me. And
Grealish actually suits Pep's style, believe it or not. If it was up to me and I was in the Champions League game and we have to hold a lead, I would tell Grealish to keep the ball as much as he can and draw fouls. What do you think?
I agree with you. That's why I believe that Grealish probably belongs in that central midfield area.
I think he does, because every time he drops in, it looks dangerous. Every time he drops down the middle, it looks dangerous. I think Grealish should make a perfect number 10. I think he would be a perfect cam. We'll see anyway. We'll see.
I agree with this is the problem. This is the problem of talk about squad depth. Ilkay Gundogan, who saved us in the final game of the season, who's come and scored goals and connected with Haaland. He's making way. He's making way for Bernardo, Grealish, and De Bruyne because he can't get a spot. This guy would enter any team in world football. You give Gundogan to Liverpool right now, they'll bite your hand off because he's creative. You give him to Chelsea right now, Ilkay Gundogan, they're biting your hand because he can create chances. So, but the problem is, where does he go? And in the false nine system, and I talked about this, Patrick, at the start of this year, I said that the false nine system, what they allowed us to do was play, for example, De Bruyne here and play Gundogan here. That way all four of them on the field and they can rotate.
You see, that's a good comment. That's a good comment by Daniel, and it's right. People, I know they're trying to show off his goals and assists, but Grealish was never a player that had the most amazing goals and assists. Yes, he was almost close this other season, but that was his only season. He's just a player who looks good and is able to create chances. That's what he's good at. So I think he's doing a 7 out of 10 so far every time he plays. It's just that people, I think, are just looking for him to do something like he did in that friendly where he was feeding Haaland. And I think in due time, Gundogan will be able to do that. Grealish will be able to do that.
So, Adam, how do you feel about not having Gundogan in the squad or Alvarez?
It's somewhat mixed emotions. To be honest with you, like what you said, I think he could do this, or he could do what he said, where he plays Foden on the left and Bernardo on the right, and then you have a midfield of Rodri, Gundogan, and KDB. But I don't know if he's going to end up playing Grealish. That's the problem.
I think this is fine. I think I'm leaning on Patrick on this one. I think the three in the middle will give us a dynamism and control that we need, and we can transition. Because if we play a high line, Kevin's going to kill them with passes. Bernardo can chase Bellingham and whoever the midfielder is, and then Grealish on the left hand side can torture their right back. And then Foden can torture.
He has to rip them apart. Like Jack
has to.
If you ever watch this, you have to rip them apart. And look what you have done to us, Jack, because of your performance. Where some of us who are FIFA magicians, we're going to have to struggle next season with no pace in our team. You and Foden.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I've never seen a team that becomes champions and is given the worst rating in a video game. I'm sorry, Kyle. You are right. There's agendas in this world. We are champions, and then we have got useless Liverpool always looking like the best team. But anyway, Jack has to do something in this game, and I think it's about time that you start taking the risk. Yes, it's either he does. Look, this is two things Jack has to do. It's either you become the guy who used to feed Watkins, where you fed the team, or you start taking risks where when you're on a sport where you can shoot. I liked up against Sevilla. I know he hit the side net, but I liked the way he cut in, started going in, hit the ball. It was a very dangerous shot. And I think the keeper was not going to get to it if it went in. So that's the Jack I want to see. And I hope I see more of that Jack. Because in Sevilla, he was taking on the fullbacks and he was causing all sorts of trouble. So let's see.
I also like, I mean, this is the final point. I also like the fact that when Pep took him off against Sevilla, he was angry. You saw that he was angry, he was upset. That's going to get him ready for the next game. So when he comes to the next game, he knows that he's going to have something to prove, which is going to motivate him to do well. So guys out there, this is kind of what we think. We think that against Dortmund, it's going to be 4-3.
You're not downloaded, so you can post it.
I will download it. We'll post it out there. Let's get your comments on it. Check out Patrick on Football and Chills podcast. Check out True City Fan. Also, which will be there, and Adam. We'll post it on the links there. Check out the lineup. Let us know your comments, who you would change and why you would change those. But we have a back four of Gomez, Diaz, Akanji, and Cancelo, Rodri, Bernardo, Kevin, and a front three of Jack, Erling Haaland, and Philip Walter Foden as a front three against Dortmund. That's what we have. Comments on scores, you think, Adam and Patrick? What do you think the score is going to be against Dortmund?
We have to beat this. Yeah, I'm going with Adam. I think we have to beat them. We have to beat these guys. We shouldn't give them a chance at all.
You know the motivation with this game, guys. The motivation with this game is the fact that you beat Dortmund at home, right? You beat them well. You got 6 points. Your next two games are against Copenhagen twice. So what that means is that if you beat Copenhagen twice, you beat Dortmund, guess what? You qualify for the next round without even breaking a sweat. That's what it basically means. And so it's really critical that we get this game over the line because the next game is at home against Copenhagen, which if you win that game, you go Copenhagen away, you win that game, you're done. That's 12 points. You're qualified, essentially. Then you have two more games to play, one at home, one away, and then that's it. You've qualified. Let the rest struggle for the second place spot. But Adam, any last words before we wrap up the show?
We pretty much said everything today.
Absolutely. We spent a lot of time. We looked at the review of last week's Champions League game. We previewed all the games for next week. And then we also talked in detail about the City game against Dortmund and the positions that we think we're going to play and the players as well. Patrick, you want to share your handle and where they can find you?
No, they can find me. You can find me on Pitch Points here with Kyle. You can find me on Football and Chills podcast. We're gonna do an episode on VAR. We were supposed to do it, but I think we forgot about it. Then we're going to do obviously a more concentrated Dortmund versus City or on the True City Fan channel. More same as this, but more concentrated. We're gonna have just more City fans on. And that's it. Anyway, guys, that's where you can find me on True City Fan channel on YouTube, but also on Football and Chills. Or you can find me on True City Fan on Twitter, or you can find me here on Pitch Points. It's the same channels are connected anyway.
Absolutely. Thank you everyone for joining us today, and we spent a good time with us today. Let us know if you enjoy the new introduction and closing that Patrick and Wantali helped me figure out. Till then, enjoy. We'll see you on True City Fan in a couple of days.